Hello everybody, welcome to another video, and yes, this is third video that I'm posting today because I'm bored and have nothing better to do with my life. Anyways, this is going to be a Bill Cipher X child reader. Anyways, enough of me jabbering. I'm never saying that again. Anyways, let's get to the video. Bill's POV. I was walking or floating through Gravity Falls, having nothing to do. I was bored and I didn't want to take the time to destroy Stan's life. I came upon a house that had burned down. Well, that's strange, I muttered. Mommy, Daddy? I turned. A small girl was crawling out from under some bush and looked scared. I felt slight bad for the kid. No, don't think like that way, Bill, I thought. The kid looked up and saw me. Go away. Sorry, ad. For a second, it was like a staring match. I floated down to the kid and she sniffled, I thought, and picked her up. She clung to me as I flew off and almost laughed. Time skip. I dozed off after a long day training at war with Stan. Bill! I heard a small voice yell at me. I looked down at Ryan. The girl I had adopted. She had on her yellow sweater. She held her arms up. Uppy, she demanded, and I sighed. I picked her up. She clung to me, burying her face in my shirt. I yawned. Soon she fell asleep. I just smiled. I'm assuming that Bill's human, I guess. So yeah. Anyways, let's get back to this beautiful story. Part 2. Bill's POV. I was in the dreamscape resting. I needed a bit of time to myself, away from everyone, even Ryan. I loved her. She was my little girl, but I was in a tense mood. I opened my eyes and frowned. Maybe I should check on her. I went into her dream since she was napping, and saw her having another nightmare. I sighed, exited the dreamscape, and went to her. She was curled up, sweating and whimpering. I picked her up, not wanting to wake her, and gave her a better dream. She relaxed and went back to a peaceful sleep. I sighed again. She had these nightmares a lot. Maybe because of what happened before I found her. Maybe I had gone in her memories and saw that she witnessed something a child her age should have never seen. I placed her back on her bed, tucked the covers around her small form, and closed the door, leaving it open a crack if I was needed. Ryan's POV. I woke up and rubbed the sleep out of my eyes, because for some reason that's what cartoon characters do. I saw the door was open. I jumped off my bed and toddled into the living room. I heard soft snoring on the couch. I peeked over the edge. Daddy was sleeping, hair all messed up and clothes disheveled. Is that what it says? Anyways, I giggled politely, and Daddy snored. Sorda opened his eyes and saw me. He yawned, sat up, and ruffled my hair. "Hey, kiddo, you're up early," he said before getting up and stretching. Well, let's get breakfast started, I giggled and ran into the kitchen with Daddy following me. Time skip. Daddy, oh God, Daddy had gotten the dishes done and pulled on his yellow coat bow and the rest of his outfit. "Aw, do you have to go, Daddy?" I whined, clinging to his pant leg. He chuckled and crouched down to my level. He planted a kiss on my forehead. Yes, but I promise I will be back and we can play together, all right? I giggled and nodded. I smiled, stood up, and left, locking the door behind him. That was the last time I saw Daddy. I was waiting all day. I had cereal for dinner. I had a nightmare that night. Daddy was in trouble and was against an old man. The old man did something to Daddy that caused him to control in painful looking ways. He was screaming. I couldn't understand. Daddy tried to hit the guy, but he punched Daddy and Daddy shattered, fading away. I looked up. I woke up in tears. I ran to the living room wanting to see Daddy, wanting to see his smile again. I hear his laugh again, but Daddy was gone. Daddy, you promised. Oh my God, that's, gosh, okay, that's sad. But to the next part. Haha. Hopefully this will lighten the mood somehow. I highly doubt it, but still. We're going back. Part 3. Ryan's POV. It's been years since Dad disappeared. I'm now 11. I ran through the forest, running along familiar paths. I saw something new. It was a sign that had words scribbled on it. I couldn't read yet. Dad didn't get the chance to teach me. It had an arrow pointing to somewhere, so I followed it. It came to the edge of the forest. This was the farthest I have ever been from home. I saw a rundown looking cabin with some people entering it and exiting. There was a boy sweeping the porch. He had on a cap, red shirt, blue vest, and shorts, and brown hair. He went inside, and I veered closer to the cabin, peeking in the window. There was a living room with a TV, cow skull, chair, and rug. An old man was sitting on the chair watching the TV as a girl read on the floor. She had long brown hair, a bright pink sweater, blue skirt, and natural earrings. I thought it was pretty funny. The boy came in, spoke to the old man and exited. I tried to see what the man was watching, but someone yelled, "Hey!" and scared me. I turned around and saw the boy. I was panicking and ran away, him yelling for me to stop. I didn't stop, and not until I reached home. Time skip to the next day. Yes, I am going to do that anytime I see a time skip, so get annoyed at me all you want. I don't care. Here, I woke up hearing voices. We're gonna have to tear this old shack down. It's unused, and it's just an eyesore. but Grunkle Stan, and it's all the way out here. Me and Mabel could fix it up and turn it into a playhouse. Wait, that voice sounds familiar. I checked the window and saw an old guy, Grunkle Stan, I guess, and the boy. I yelped and crawled under my bed. What was that? I don't know, maybe an amble? Well, go check it, Dipper. I heard the boy Dipper enter my house. I started looking around, his feet past my bed. I held my breath. He seemed specific. I can't talk. Okay. And again, we are skipping words because you know that I can't read. And started to walk away. Then my nose itched and I sneezed. He stopped. I froze like a deer in headlights. And Dipper looked under the bed. He gasped, and I ran and bolted past Stan, who yelled in surprise. I kept running or tired. Stan had hold on my arm. Let me go! What did she say? That wasn't English. At least I think. It was the only language my dad taught me. What did he mean? English? Well, let's take her down to the police station and get an attendee on her, dragging me along depending on my shoulder, despising my struggle. Oh, sometimes skip a little. Well, there's been no missing child reports or anything, so I can't tell you. A short voice, a short brown-skinned chubby man said, they put me behind bars like an animal. I clenched the bars in my tiny fist, glaring at them. Does that mean she's an orphan? Orphan, the taller, skinnier one asked. The chubby one nodded. We can keep her here if you want. Nah, I'll take her, Stan said as they let me out. Stan grabbed my arm again and took me to a car. Dipper helped him wrangle me and lock the door, or I screamed, and I was told bad things about others from my dad, and this Stan person seemed awfully familiar. For some reason for reasons I don't know. After a short drive, we arrived at the shack. I was tired and didn't struggle when they led me into the shack. After a while, they cleaned out a room for me. I slept on the bare floor in a corner. I woke up suddenly squeezing another nightmare. If dad getting killed, they would get worse each time. I curled up and softly cried. That's when I realized that this Stan person was the one who killed my dad. Anger filled me, and I stood up, peeked out the door, and tiptoed down the hall into the kitchen. Ooh, girl! Grabbed a knife. Wow, we're killing Stan now, are we? I would avenge my dad. Creeping into Stan's room, I found him snoring away. I got closer and closer. Then I was beside his bed. I raised the knife above him, but but my arm knocked a glass from the nightstand. It shattered. I jumped back. Stan woke up, saw me with the knife, and started yelling. After struggling, Stan had my arms pinned on the side, and Dipper had thrown the knife away. Kid, are you crazy? What was that for? He yelled, tears spraying down my eyes. You killed him, said in English. I caught on. I learned fast. I'm a fast learner, Dad said. So you killed my dad. Dad, I screamed and started thrashing. But Grunkle Stan never killed anyone. And Dipper said I was crying in a river, for he did it to my dad. My daddy Bill, he killed him. He shattered him amongst blue fire. I screamed, my voice growing hoarse. Stan let me go. I crumbled on the floor weakly. So you're the one. When you were, Stan mumbled. You were the one. When he did. Huh? Hold on. Depends his last words too. Do later. Ken, I'm so sorry, but Bill was threatening our existence, and I had to do it. Stan said. I glared at him in slight anger. My dad's last words still rang in my head. I'm sorry, kiddo. I really wish I could have kept my promise. I love you. My dad spent his dying words saying he loved me. I started to tear up again, but rubbed them away. I can take you to his gravesite. Dipper sighed. I nodded and followed him into the woods. He led me to a statue of my dad. Dipper felt me, left me. I crouched by the statue. It was my dad, on his knees, looking up in sorrow. I started crying again and hugged the statue. Oh, Dad, why did you have to die? I wish you could come back, I whispered. After a few hours of crying, I fell asleep next to the statue. In the morning, I slowly opened my eyes and was greeted by the sun and warmth. Someone was hugging me. I squirmed to face the person, and of unexpected contact, I cried out in joy. Dad, you're alive! I screamed, hugging him as he laughed and hugged me back. I cried tears of joy and which he wiped away with his thumbs. I never break my promises, he said. Oh, okay, that was such a nice ending. Yes, okay, I really like that story. Anyways, hope you guys liked the story, and sorry that my voice was cracking every 2 seconds. Anyways, thank you for wasting your time on me, and goodbye.